I found tons of Nike and Jordan pairs that released years ago in the Nike factory stores and clearance stores. So what's really going on? And why are sold out sneakers still showing up at the outlet? Let's break that down. Right now, we're in the Nike factory store on International Drive. One of the highest grossing Nike stores that you can probably visit. It's a must go if you're in the area. Retail returns and overstock from warehouses is why you'll start finding shoes that sold out in the Nike factory stores. Foot traffic sites like JD Sports, Foot Locker, Champs may have abundance of pairs that they couldn't sell. And guess where they send them? They send them to Nike. You guys remember I did a whole video about return to vendor, RTV? That's where foot traffic sites that can't no longer sell shoes send them back to the manufacturer, in this case Nike. And then Nike get them and they send them to their Nike factory stores. That's the reason why we got a plethora of these in mobile factory stores. These hustle tools are selling for $79.99. Y'all remember when these first came out? Foot Locker had almost every single colorway. Now the factory stores have every single colorway. Now this shoe did manufacture in 2023, so technically it's roughly a year old. Unfortunately, no one's buying them. And that's how people like you and I can benefit of finding shoes like that in the factory store for a dirt cheap price, including these Ja Morant 2s. These shoes just came out and they're hitting for the low $54.97 with additional 30% off. That's insane. Now, to be fair, the biggest size I have found is a size 11. Hey, can you verify if you have these in a 12? Let me know. Ja 2.
Do you have there 11?
Yeah, it's 11.
That's my biggest.
11's the biggest size? Bam. Not a bad price.
12,
yeah.
Go to Celebration.
Yeah. Celebration or Winter Gardens. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. They have 12s?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And guys, you heard them. I can go to Celebration or Winter Garden to get this pair. What that means is I will buy it here because who knows what the prices are at those locations. So I can get the savings over there as well, along with my size. That's a dope hat.
Here's how you unlock savings at the Nike factory store. If a sale item isn't in your size, purchase it anyways. Then simply head over to another Nike location that does have your size and request an even exchange. This ensures you get the sale price even if the second store price is higher.
So if you want to hear more hats like that, definitely follow this channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also look at it as retail manipulation, which I have discussed in the past, but if you're buying it for a personal pair, I don't see anything wrong with that. Now back to the subject at hand, Nike does take back unsold pairs from foot traffic sites and put them in their factory stores. That's one of the ways that you can find some shoes that sold out in the foot traffic sites or even online the same day, but you'll find them years later in a Nike factory store. These are LeBron Necks. I'm not a big fan of them. They are super light, but they're going for $90. Suggested was $130. You also got the Phoenix colorway, which I've shown for $10 cheaper. I'm not mad at this colorway. I don't know why they're guappy. You got this for $90. I have seen this here, and I'm surprised it's still here for the same price. These are $89.97 with additional 30% off. These are the quality versions, the quality embroidered on the back heel, predominantly all white and gold. Fire colorway, I like it. And that price, I'm not mad at it. If you're into LeBron and into collecting, I think this would be a great collector shoe after he retires that you have in your collection for a super, super cheap price. So you guys haven't caught up on my videos where I talked about return to vendor. I think that's a great place to start. And then you get an idea how that works. And Nike been doing that. That's not nothing new. And it's not nothing new to retail stores as well to have a presence in that outlet. I can't believe these Jordans are still available. Now, this is another shoe that released several years ago and is still in the outlet, but it is kind of guappy. The times finding shoes like these in the outlet years after only feels exciting when the shoes are extremely cheap. And this was produced in 2023, January 2023. So these shoes are technically 2 years old. This is a prime example of a shoe that literally came out, didn't do numbers, didn't sell for traffic sites. And I guarantee you that's why Nike have these shoes widely available in the bin. Coming in at $159, I can see why they ain't moved. I mean, suggested retail was $200, but even the factory store at $160 is still kind of pricey, and I can see why they have it available. Now, to be honest, I do have a pair similar to this that I got for $50. And speaking of $50, I'm looking for the booked ones to get around $50. I have found them cheaper in foot traffic sites way below this price. So my price point is $50, and I love to see them at that price in the outlet, including these KD 17s. They're going for 80. Not a bad starting point. Here's another shoe that came out a year ago still in outlets. And this shoe did not sell out by all means. That's not the case. It's only exciting when you see shoes that sold out and you see them 2 or 3 years later in outlets. This happens more than not, where shoes doesn't sell on foot traffic sites. They find a way back here. And it's much as exciting to find shoes sold out like 2 or 3 years ago to find an outlet, but majority of the times the shoes that didn't sell out you'll find in outlets years later. This shoe came out in 2023 and it's still available. And another surprise is finding shoes that came out 6 months ago and you find an outlet for a cheap price. Thank you, bro. Production overrun and late shipment also contribute to why shoes that came out years ago is fine in the factory stores. Excuse me. Believe it or not, Nike produced more pairs than they actually need, expecting a high demand. And when that demand doesn't hit, the extra pairs sit. Now, they do got some freak buys. These are hitting for 100, with additional 30% off. I'm also curious to see when these was manufactured. And it's very important to see when they're manufactured so you can get an idea what year they actually release another 2023 manufacturer and release shoe. So it's fair to say this shoe is literally over a year old. My favorite section, the Comfy Walkers, the Vomero 5s. This is $139.99. And ironically, I bought the exact same shoe from this location for a lot cheaper. And here they are having a restock with the price reset. Now, if you guys watched my previous video, I have shown majority of these shoes in these colorways from the Nike Unite store, where I bought those KDs, which prompt this video. Now, the other store, the Unite store, didn't have this colorway. This is fire. It's supposed to be a Psychic Blue and Thunder Blue. I ain't mad at it. Then you got the Volt. Now, this is fairly cheap. This is a $70 shoe. I ain't mad at it. This is actually affordable and is actually cheaper than the previous store revisit, which is the Unite store that I'm mentioning. $70 for some Vomeros, that's dope. Because if you see the prices, sometimes they're leak over $100, and that's $140. And these J's I have seen everywhere, even the clearance store, but these are going for $90. And what is this, a P6000? It is for $90. What colorway? Cave Stone Metallic Silver. That's different. Or you can get the all white for $110. Or you can get this green, or in this case, metallic silver and khaki, $90. Gold, black, and white. I mean, damn, got so many Comfy Walkers in the building, it's ridiculous. This is going for $70. Some more Vomeros. This is a black, white, and red colorway for $139. And then you got the yellow one for $139.99. This one, I like more than all of them, along with this one, and the price is just right. Now, there's another reason why shoes do up in outlet, and it's have to do with a pandemic. Sometimes late shipments and delay cause shoes to not appear in a regular foot traffic site, only to get shipped to the outlet and sold later. But a lot of foot traffic sites have problems getting shoes in stock the day of release. Believe it or not, every shoe has a hype window. So if a product get released and everybody want it, but your store don't get it in time, the hype dies down. And when that hype dies, it's hard to recover the excitement once around that shoe. It sounds silly when you're thinking people buy what they want, but typically this generation buy what everybody else wants. They would end up with these Air Max Plus shifts for no reason outside than the fact that somebody else like them. Influencers also get influenced. Apologize, these are drifts. Air Max Plus drifts, and this is going for $90. One thing I don't like about this shoe is how heavy it is. Now, I never try it on. To be fair, it can be super comfortable. Just picking it up, it's heavy. And this location ain't short of Air Maxes. They got this colorway as well, 90 beans, and then they got the actual Plus. This is like a flex colorway, $119, and they got this multicolor Cloud, Lightning, Thunder, and Red joint. I ain't mad at it. $119 is the price.
And it doesn't stop there. When shipment finally shows up late, the hype was gone. So Nike pushed them straight to the outlet. But here's where it gets even crazier. Sometime regional or even international stock get consolidated and sent to random factory stores in the United States.
That's crazy if you think about it. Nike will redistribute inventory from other countries and regions that's underperforming. Here's an example, not the best example. This shoe literally underperforms in the United States. I know it'll go crazy overseas. Anecdotally, a lot of you guys tell me that you like this shoe, even though I talk crap about it in every single video, but there's a demand for it across the pond. So if Nike literally take these shoes and sell them overseas in a Nike factory store, I'm sure they'll go crazy. They're still pricey here. These shoes really ever go on sale. Now, do they move? That I don't know, but they're widely available. These are $119. I'm not the biggest fan of those. And what's crazy is products that get shipped overseas that never even get on shelves get returned back to the States. And we sell them at full retail, like these 270. We also got those for 109. We also got these for the old school price on Jordan 1s, both in black and whites. All they do is change out the air bubble unit to change the price. But for some odd reason, the whites and the blacks never get discounted. Someone needs to tell Nike that all colors matter. Now, here's my anecdotal reason of why some pairs do end up in the outlets. For example, I remember when JD Sports opened in my area, Nike had a plethora of shoes to sell. Well, that store did. It's because that store got shipment and just kept it in the warehouse until the store was completed. But there's been times where stores never got complete. The plans were scrapped and those shoes either get distributed to other stores or they literally get sent back to Nike. The store in question I'm talking about was
Jimmy Jazz. Back in 2016, when they're open in my hometown, they had sold out heat like the Jordan 1 breads on shelf. Why? Because Nike and retailers strategically allocate hype pairs to grand openings to create that wow factor and drive instant hype.
They had a whole stock of shoes, including Yeezys, Jordans that sold out months ago, years ago. They had pairs. And when these stores put orders in, they buy them in abundance and they save some pairs for into new open stores. But the plans fall through, they still have abundance of product. They can ship it to other stores, but sometimes they can't. Maybe Nike asked for those shoes back. And hence the reason why you also see J Balvin's way below retail at the Nike factory store. Now, clearly these are not J Balvin's, but I have bought them for super cheap at a Nike factory store. Speaking of Air Max 90s, I did find a pair of Air Max 90s here. It was the Air Max 90 Bacons, and it was hitting way below this price. I got them for $100. That's crazy because that was a 2021 release that I struck out on. Now I got a delayed W from this location last year. More Air Max 90s. These are 130. Are these the Wolf Gray? Yes, they are. And they don't have no blemish. So I get why they're charging 130, but I also don't get why the blemish pairs go for the same amount. That's crazy to me. And multiple other factory stores does that. Probably haven't mentioned throughout this video, not only will you get random shoes in the outlet that came out years ago, but you also get random sizes. These are the Air Max 180 Quick Strike. They're $114, and they all have big sizes from 10.5 down to size 12.5. Nothing smaller, unfortunately. Similar to these pairs of Ja 2s, they only have big sizes from 10 to size 11. Nothing bigger, nothing smaller. However, I am politely passing because another location do have this shoe and they got it for the same price and in my size. So instead of me buying here and return it, I'll just buy it from that location. I've learned not to do that again. Last time I bought this shoe at one location, got it for a great price, but it wasn't my true size. I returned it at another location for my true size, only to get back to the origin of purchase, and I found them there again at my size. So moving forward, to save myself a trip, I will confirm that that store have the same price and the same size, so I can just buy it directly from there. Now, yes, I did pay $34 for these. In the previous video, I have found these for $44. They got them here for $74.99, but they do have the box intact if you guys are interested. I also found some Cavs exempt Air Max 95. They came out in 2019 and I found them at a Nike clearance store. Forgot what I paid, but that is a true store. I put the picture up or some B-roll. Anyways, I actually like these shoes. I like it because it's different. The box is different. They are going for $94, $97, additional 30% off. Then you got the red chile or hot chile. They're going for 70 beans. They're called the Chili Red. I apologize. Air Max 1s. More Air Max 1s, but this is gold and white. These are going for $80. I haven't seen this one before, but it's a $130. Different type of materials on here. Leather on the toe box, suede on the midfoot, blue swoosh, different. 139. It's also different, but I have seen this before. Another 129. My bad. This Air Max appears to be different. The toe box area is different, predominantly all leather. It is very soft leather. Gold Nike Air on the tongue, different color eyelets, red air unit, completely white outsole, 120 with additional 30% off. I am not a fan of. These are the RNs, multiple different colorways. This one's going for $84. Now this one's dope. Black, white, simple, with a little bit of gray for this $129. Gotta go on sale before I cop. To be honest, I do like this shoe, but I don't like the price. I'm not seeing much retros in the building, but I am seeing a lot of mids and lows. These are $135. That's retail. Then they got the dunks for $100. These are the mids. Ass dunks for $80s. And I did a recent dunk video explaining dunks are showing up in the outlet like they were back in 2014 and 15. This is nothing new. This is how it always been. No one really cared about dunks. We just had a 2-year run on dunks. I think the fad has disappeared altogether. But anyway, just a few dunks I actually do like. These again, I'm looking for my size right now. They're only 11.5 in the store, so I had to order me a pair. What that means is that there's a warehouse that Nike keep majority of their Nike products that's not in the store. It's late in the evening. The truck's not gonna get here before it closed, so I have to pick it up the next day. These are very affordable, coming in at $54.97 with additional 30% off. I actually like this colorway. I talked about it a lot in my videos, so I'm gonna get my hands on them again. These ones are cool as well. They're going for $80, but there's no additional discounts. Finally, this one went on sale. This, ironically, was the most expensive dunk in majority of these stores. I've never understood why. They're not that crazy. but they wanted damn near 100 for them. But these are the new Ear Zoom Drive SP. They're going for 65. They got them in the black and white, but the white one's a lot cheaper than the black one. These are hitting for $129.99, and they got the 2017s for $119. They got multiple pairs for the same price. I actually like this one. Actually, I like this one a lot better. It's $10 more, but you are getting an additional discount on it. I'm not mad at it. So guys, next time you hit the Nike outlet, keep your eyes open. You never know what you'll find at what price and how old they are. And the size could be yours, and you will come up that day. And be a hero for somebody else if you're assisting people with shoes in your area because they don't have any. Before I get out of here, I'm gonna take a look at the hash wall. This got me. I thought these were Olympic sixes, but they're, wait a minute, they are the Olympic sixes. $129 with additional 30% off. That's crazy. They got plethora of pairs, but it doesn't have the lid. That's cheap. This is under $100 if I'm not mistaken. It's actually $90.99. They got the Ja ones. That's $49. Another affordable shoe with 30% off. The Air Max Plus, $119. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but these 312s I also got from the Nike outlet recently this year, and I did not pay that. I paid $30-something for my pair, and this shoe came out in 2019. So I bought this shoe 5 years after release. Ain't that crazy? And I paid the ultimate cheap price. I paid 2/3 less than that. The Witness again, $59.97 with additional 30% off. Previous outlet didn't even have them this cheap. I call these the former Simpsons. Donut pair. I'm not mad at this, and they're my size. I gotta practice what I preach. Guys, this is off topic, but they got these LeBron Witness again. I call these the Homer Simpson. I just showing you guys. They got my size, and I gotta try them on. I'm gonna give them a try. Back hooping, so it's worth it. The lockdown is crazy on these. You ain't going nowhere. I'm not mad at them at all. What's your thoughts? This shoe ended up being $41. I think I'm sold. The lockdown is crazy. Now we got women's shoes discounted. These Jordan 2s are hitting for $80 with additional 30% off. These are the mint green. Another shoe we don't see much of is the Air Jordan 1s. Actually, we're not seeing much of any retros, but if you're a GS or kid size, they got you. There's a plethora of them in the building. Even the Green Glow 3s. 104.
Guys, that's it for this video. Also, let me know how I did in the video. Do you guys enjoy these long form, deep dive, informative style videos? If so, if you have a topic in mind, leave that in the comment section below as well. Until then, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.